Then imagine that all governments are now participating fully in creating balance as far as climate change is concerned. This means focusing on drastically reducing every country's carbon footprint to the point of zero emissions, very rapidly, increasingly so. As one country after another becomes committed to this, and all organizations, large and small, participate in this, people all over the world not only become aware of the facts connected with climate justice, but they are also very committed to reducing their own carbon footprints as well. Imagine that life becomes greatly transformed more and more, where we change our diets to being primarily, if not entirely, plant-based. Generally, we consume far less at all levels. We become much simpler and happier and don't buy as much of anything and everything anymore, because our values have changed. We know who we really are, and we know we are more than enough, and we don't need to strive or struggle. We become very contented, very much at peace, and there is no wastage and no pollution of any kind whatsoever, increasingly so. Imagine that we also increasingly think we rather than me, and what's in it for me, or even look at me. Because from deep within, we know our own divine power, a true power that is power over our own fear and ego-based minds, not over others. It is also the power to create whatever we truly want and need, and we are secure enough to be able to let go and let God, or spirit, or the universe take care of the details, the how and the timing. A deep, slow breath in again, and slow down even more. We become far more relaxed and at ease, filled with grace and enormous peace, and so much love. And from the love stems great joy and so much creativity of all kinds. We are here to create all kinds of things, wonderful things, which we can do so if we drop the old programs that we still carry and step into our inner power and wisdom. Imagine all of us becoming so much in our own power and wisdom that we move more and more towards supporting and caring for each other, for all sentient beings, which includes all humans all over the world, all fauna and flora, our waterways and our planet itself. Another deep, slow breath in and slow down even more. Imagine that we return to our so-called original self, the highest aspects of ourselves, the soul and spirit or pure consciousness that we are, and we become much kinder, much more thoughtful and compassionate, far less driven by the material, and more soul-led. And imagine, therefore, that all injustices disappear altogether, that there is no hunger, no poverty, but great equality and peace instead. Imagine that even though all this may come about in a decade or two, and we have much to grow beyond and rise above, we will see many signs of a utopia rising, as what can be a dystopia disappears. This is exactly what is already happening, but people are so focused on the dystopia showing up, the darkness showing its face in our lives and our world. It has been there for centuries, and the light is so immense that is pushing the darkness all out for us to see and to release. When we release our own fears and come into great balance and harmony within ourselves, we will more than create balance and harmony in our lives and our world. We will create heaven on earth for sure. Another deep, slow breath in. Your human mind has to step aside, and your universal or God mind has to step in to co-create this, because in fact it is already there, and what is needed is our collectively allowing this to materialize. Breathe deeply into your belly several times now until you feel even more relaxed. And then ask yourself, are you willing to let go of the human mind just for a few moments and move into a place within yourself, a place of innocence and purity, where you can and will allow all your imaginings to come true? Because if enough of us are willing to do this, we will most definitely make this manifest, as is in fact intended. Breathe deeply into your belly once again and relax even more. Place your hands on your heart and say, yes, I will allow all of this to come to pass. I do not need to know how it will be done. I surrender the how to God or the universe to take care of everything. I commit to doing my part by dissolving my own darkness without judging any of it, and acknowledging the fact that it is there because I am in this human body. I allow my human self to rise up and to being more and more of my soul self, the part of me that was created in the image of the divine, or the Buddha within me, or a hologram of the universe, which means I carry the exact same parts, the same attributes and powers. Another deep, slow breath in again. I surrender to the highest aspects of me. This is what you can say to yourself, and allow them to take charge of my life and our world, while totally loving and embracing my human self, and support this small self to rise and merge with my highest and greater self. I allow myself to step onto what is called the new earth now. It is a dimension in which we can now live, where there is ease and grace, if we are willing to give up the pain and struggle of the old earth. Imagine it is in front of you, this new earth, now, and step onto this heavenly realm. Feel it. How does it feel? How beautiful is it? You can step onto this plane every time you want to create and every time you'd like to feel good, until this realm becomes increasingly real and you carry it with you wherever you go, sharing your wonderful energies, your bliss, until more and more people join you. And together, we will dissolve all that is dark or out of balance and bring everything back to equilibrium. And all is heavenly and everyone is thriving. Deep, slow breath in. whatever positive visions and emotions you felt while you visualize that, you can place it into one of your hands and make a fist with that hand and tell yourself anytime, day or night, when you want to bring all of this back to you, you only need to make a fist with that same hand and it will come flooding back to you. And deep, slow breaths in. And whenever you're ready, you can share. Take your time. Yes.
Ellen, my experience in my life is that when no matter who you're with, you know, I'm always myself. So I see and try to help people, and the more we allow, the more we trust, the more exponentially the light engulfs us and supports us and gives us everything we need and desire and create, so that that deep heartfelt trust that you created with this meditation is, I feel, vital to acknowledge. And the more we allow, the greater we expand, and more joyful and blissful we can feel.
That's great. How are you feeling? What's your primary emotion right now?
The energy's so strong. I'm blissful, I guess you could say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anyone else? Vicky?
Yeah, I got a sense, or like a visualization of all over the planet, just people like lighting up, and every place there are people, and connecting with lines across all the planet. So everyone stepping into their light and to being connected and realize they're being connected. And then I just kind of, when I did the stepping into the new earth and that feeling and all that, I have a feeling of it's sort of neutrality, like oneness with all, like that, but also love and just peace.
Does it feel good?
Yes.
You want to live there most of the time, Vicky? If not all the time?
Yeah, I do. And the fist thing, and I've done that before with something else that we did, and
yes, in
that
our
was
in Journey Home, right?
yes. And that's such a great, it works so well that I'm so glad that you had us do that, because now I can feel it and step into it more often.
Good. So use this daily, darling. Okay?
Okay.
Anyone else?
Here's Christina. I would like to share my vision.
Okay.
I had a vision on my right hand, I had a crystal ball,
Okay.
and it's a representation of our new earth, which is very clear, with blue water, with green trees, and full of light. So this is purity of everything, and clear, clear and light. That's what I see inside of that ball, and it gives me a feeling of peace and joy.
Very nice. And how did New Earth feel to you?
It feels fresh and new, and beautiful,
Okay.
and a lot of people are happy.
Very good.
Many people are happy. The majority of it.
Okay. So you can step into it daily, and then it becomes
Yeah.
more and more your home, right? Your dimension. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And
Do I need to put this into my heart? This
well,
ball?
all the feelings that you experience while you were visualizing, and the visions you can put into your hand and make a fist with your hand, right? And then tell yourself, your subconscious mind, that any time, day or night, in public or in private, whenever you make a fist with that hand, all these visions will come flooding back. The wonderful emotions will come flooding back. So that way you make it come into being more and more, right? And
Yeah.
it's there, right?
Mhm.
How was it, Anne-Marie?
Very similar to, I think, what Christina just shared, actually. She used similar words that I was thinking of using. So I think I have water, crystal water. It's fresh. The new earth is fresh. It's clear. It's light. That's it, really, I think. I think two, great. It's very easy. I think very easy.
Okay.
The way
So
it feels.
this dimension was made present since 2012. Not everyone could step into that before this, and now more people can this year. And the more you do it, the more it becomes real, right? And then you can still interact with others in a different, I mean, it's still the same earth, but in a different dimension. And then you come back to this, right? Even as you're having a conversation with someone else, you can be in two different dimensions, right? And the idea is to be in this and not drag people into it, but you know, just from the high frequencies, we would emanate more and more. We bring them in, yeah. Not evangelizing, not enroping in, but just as an organic, as part of an organic, spontaneous, natural process, right? There's no whacking people on the head kind of thing, you know, right? Thank you, Anne-Marie. Anyone else? Angela, you've been quite quiet.
Hi, Helen. I visualize a earth full of greens, so grown so close together that I could not even see any um, let's say it's just full. I just feel very full and whole, just being in that new earth.
Nice, right?
Mm.
Okay, so we don't need to, our usual, when I say our, I'm referring to the human usual response, especially in the midst of chaos and all the dramas that are surfacing at the moment. And people all over the world, even just online, you can feel the fear, the anxiety, the doubt, and so on. And without judging it, and we if we do this for ourselves, we can emanate a different energy, right? And we influence what other people feel then, rather than the other way around, which is absorbing the fear, right? The scarcity, the anxiety. And then what happens is then that grows, right? I mean, all these things that have come out just in January alone, just look at that, right? All the fires in Australia, and then all the underlying things that had been going on, all that surface, right? And yeah, it's horrifying. It's horrifying when the billions of it was said 1 billion, but it's now said that there's more animals, wild animals, right, who perish. I mean, that's tragic. So of course, all that brings up all kinds of emotions, none of which are to be judged, but it will impact us unless we do something like this on a daily basis. And instead of absorbing, we are transmitting or emanating beautiful energies and beautiful light and beautiful emotions, right? So that's that alone can be our great contribution to the world, right? And then at some point we may be called to do more than that, but to begin with, that itself is phenomenal, right?
Mm.
Does that make sense, Angela, and everyone else?
Yes, Helen.
Absolutely. Because we reflect and we refract our energy, and it bounces, it expands, it creates more, and anything, anyone, and energy that's willing to accept it will in that moment.
So by doing what we have done today, we are intentionally, consciously, deliberately creating the world we want, the future we want, in alignment with our own heart, our own soul, with divine will. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Bless you.
Yes.
Just now.
Sorry?
So just now that you've explained it so clearly.
Excellent.
Jessie, did you want to say something?
Oh, I was just trying to say that I in my visualization, I saw bundles of joy coming to us with this new earth, because I saw a newborn. So I feel very grateful that I could feel the love from the universe. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, thank you.
And Angela, your friend's name, I just see QQ and I forgot her name. Could you remind me?
Hi, I'm Chaoshi, but you can call me QQ. It's fine.
Okay.
I guess because I'm new to this, I'm still learning and trying to work on the techniques. I think the way you put it is it's very beautiful.
It's very good. Sorry, I cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? Yeah, I think the way you put it, it's very beautiful in terms of how sometimes we we need help. We need divine help to manage whatever chaos is around us. But what we can do is to build that, having that power within us, and just start from there. I think that's a very good approach.
Thank you. Another part of my methodology that I call the triple S wisdom talks about us not being only the human self, but we have the soul. I mean, you can label it anything else, you know, depending on your beliefs. Some people might just say your inner self, right? Or your inner power or inner wisdom. You can call it whatever you like. It's the same thing in the end. And then there's another aspect of ourselves, which is even higher or greater. And that is, you can call it, again, the variety of names. Pure consciousness, you can call it God or spirit, you know, just or the universe, right? Or Buddha. It doesn't matter what you label it. Different people have different beliefs. But beyond the beliefs, there's a fundamental truth. And that's what is useful when we're addressing a variety of people and a variety of beliefs. And so these are the three S's: the human self, which is the small s, then the soul self, which is big S, then the biggest S, which is source or spirit. Does that make any sense to you, QQ?
Yes, I think I need to take it back and think around it, but I think definitely it's a good frame to.
And then what I do is I get people to actually experience it, so that it's not just a concept or a theory, but it becomes real, it becomes experiential, because humans for centuries, we have been only taught to focus on the tangible human, physical human body and the human self. But there's a whole lot more to us. And now is the time when we would do so much better if we uncover and discover what those higher aspects within us are and tap into them. Does that make sense to you as well?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I won't inundate you. That's and
thank you.
Thank you too. Jacqueline, how are you doing? You said you couldn't hear me. I hope you heard all that now. I couldn't help you because it's your audio that needs to be fixed. Yeah. Are you there? Not answering, probably still can't hear. Okay. Anyone else would like to add anything?
Okay, I would like to share my vision.
Thank you.
Just now, when you say step into another world, it's as if I'm not here anymore. It's hard to explain. Like it's like I'm gone.
That's why you were so
and
for a while.
yeah, and I saw a pond or a body of water with crocodiles. But the feeling is very peaceful. It's nature, lots of it's abundant, and we live very peacefully together. And the feeling was just pure bliss.
Beautiful. And so, San, you can do this every day. And you know the issue that you brought to me recently. You can do this and then create, you know, the abundance that you want to create, right? Right.
Yes.
And abundance is abundance of all kind, not just money, right?
Yes. Yes.
Although that's useful, of course, in you know.
yeah, is nature, is these are all abundance.
Okay. Um, does anyone else want me? Does anyone want me to address anything else?
We were talking in your article,
Yes.
Helen.
Which one, darling?
Underneath your article, a couple of your friends posted that about the concentration camps and captives around the world. And I think it would be just beautiful and lovely for all of us to visualize everyone feeling exuberantly free.
Okay. Okay. Let me think how best to do that. Imagine this same powerful golden white light from the highest realms of the highest frequencies, flooding all forms of not only camps, not only detention camps, concentration camps, but, you know, like, for example, there are also such things as sex trafficking or whatever, however you call that. Any person or groups of people anywhere in the world who are subjugated in any way, even in homes where people don't have the freedom, just send light to all of them all over the world. Powerful light, and the intention that they are naturally, spontaneously, and very quickly freed. Children too. All the detention camps will be no more. All the concentration camps will be no more. And everyone is joyful and free and happy and healthy and tapped into and aligned with in higher intelligence. And there's abundance for all, and abundance includes this freedom, this joy. No hunger, no poverty, no lack, no limitation. We just create, consciously create every day, every moment of the day, just naturally, easily, effortlessly, powerfully. because we are aligned internally. The three S's that I mentioned earlier are completely aligned. There's plenty for everybody. There's tranquility, peace, creativity. Creativity is bursting. It's just fun. Song, dance, everything. Nature, birds.
Helen, can I share what I see?
Yes.
I see those people, they're not only free, they are getting their homes, they're getting places where they can live peacefully, where they can work, where kids can go to schools, where they can earn their own money, when they live in their own communities. And I see that this helped them to be grateful to everything what they have, and it's a great feeling of gratitude and abundance, and helping each other, taking care of each other. Yeah.
Thank you. So this is the case across the board, across the world. Across the board means for everybody, everything, every tiny little part of our lives. No injustice, no poverty. All the freedom to be ourselves, our true selves, to love, to give, to share, to enjoy. And a deep, slow breath in. And if you like, you can put all that into your same hand and make a fist with it and tell your subconscious mind that any time, day or night, in public or in private, whenever you make a fist with that hand, all these visions, all these emotions will come flooding back. And every time you do it, it becomes more and more real because you're focusing and lending energy to this conscious creation. And a deep, slow breath into your belly. Yeah, I'm not sure who's snoring, but let's relax.
Helen,
Yes.
there was an President Trump signed a bill yesterday
Yes.
that and created the no oh gosh, I'm really, my brain's not anyway, executive order, a bill, and created a position at the White House to for no human trafficking and the of any kind, men, women, children.
Yes.
And that's the first of its kind since the No Slave Act in the United States. So human trafficking is being addressed.
Wonderful.
Yes,
So
I
we
was very, very
also throughout the world. Yeah.
yes. He included the worldwide human trafficking because inevitably, you know, it goes through the United States. It goes through everywhere. So it's he didn't. The executive bill didn't exclude anyone. So that was awesome.
So, you know, exactly what I said earlier, which is that even as the darkness gets shoved up and shoved into our faces, but there are also signs of a utopia that's coming up, right?
Yes.
And as the darkness leaves, we will see more and more of these signs, right? It's like there were pictures also of you know, parts of Australia which were burned to the ground, and then later there were pictures of leaves and buds coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, even if things have to be raised to the ground, it makes way for the new, for the fresh. Right?
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
so if we can carry positivity, this optimism, this sense of wonderment, right, of the new, and then we share it with the world and we allow it to grow, to expand. Yes? How are you feeling, Mariam? You're looking very beautiful lying there. Can you hear me, Mariam? No? Okay. If there's nothing else, then I'm going to wrap this part of tonight's event, wrap it up. If there is anything else, please go ahead and share. Okay, I just hear this wonderful snoring. Is that your husband, Jessie? Okay. Deep, slow breath in. And thank your team of divine helpers. If by any chance you should still have or feel any remaining angst within you, send it down a grounding cord to the center of the earth. And draw up the beautiful energies that Mother Earth or Gaia wants to share with you, to support you throughout the year and in the next 10 years or more, anytime you want them. This is the most powerful, beautiful energies from the new earth into your body. How lovely is that? You know, it helps to create the balance and the harmony within you as you receive from yes. Laughter and joy. As you receive from the highest heaven, you also receive from bless him. I'm sure it's a him. There were supposed to be more people attending, and one of them was supposed to be a guy, and there's no guy. So now we've got a guy somewhere in the background. Bless him.
I think you can turn his microphone off.
I don't know who it is, and I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, so sorry.
I don't know who it is, so I cannot even ask anybody to do that. I don't think
Oh.
participant, Okay. It is Jessie. I thought so. Okay. Bless you. So deep, slow breath in. Jessie, can you turn off? Can you mute your microphone, Jessie? Because I don't see the microphone on. Okay, I can do that. I can do that for her. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So take a deep breath in and thank your team of divine helpers, your own soul, your inner self, God, the universe, and come visit this place of yours anytime. All right? And slowly, gradually open your eyes. Oh, Karen, you must be sleepy, tired. Are you?
I am good. I've been, for many years, I didn't sleep well because of Kay. And I have been sleeping better the last few weeks. It's been really wonderful. So I feel really good, actually. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you too. And I prepared a presentation for this evening, but we actually don't need to go through it because we've done quite a bit of it during the meditation itself. And you're all pretty good to be able to close your eyes for more than an hour, or is it an hour, give or take? Do you have any questions? Do you have anything to share? Do you have any comments?
I do.
Okay.
I want to send love to everyone here and thank you. I've so enjoyed being in the group and doing this with you. And it's really a joy to connect with people that are in your same heart-centered consciousness and, elevating our heart-centered consciousness. My heart chakra is just burning like mad from being in the group, and it's really beautiful. Thank you so much.
Bless you. And we've got, people from US, Europe, different parts of Asia. And because of you, Karen, I also made sure I invited someone from China, and that's Anne-Marie. She had to leave, but it was great to see her again. And Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, right?
Awesome.
Yeah. And Pakistan. Sorry, Miss Beautiful lying there. I forgot about Miss Pakistan.
Yes, we create this beautiful, beautiful light together. Thank you.
There was someone from South Africa whom I actually don't know, but I don't know how he got hold of the invitation, and he asked for the link, and but he hasn't shown up. He even tested it yesterday, because I can see when people, check out the link. Do you want me to take a look at the presentation and see if any of it is relevant to you? You want me to do that?
Sure, whatever you like, Helen.
I'm just offering because, unless someone has something. What did I do with it? Okay. Let me see. Here it is. Okay. most of you know me anyway, but for the sake of those who don't, I'll just briefly mention a few things. And you can stop me at any time and, you know, ask questions or comments or share as well. Not a formal presentation. This logo represents balance. It's a stylized version of the, or contemporary version of the yin-yang symbol. And as I've been, you know, writing and posting for ages, the world is out of balance because we are out of balance. And the idea is to come into balance ourselves and then help create balance and harmony within our lives and in the world. And hence, this very much represents who I am and what I do. It doesn't mean that we don't go out of balance, especially if we are rising or ascending. You know, stuff gets dismantled. Old structures within us, within our world, have to be exactly that, dismantled. And in the process of dismantling, we and the world can go out of balance, but it's temporary. If you do it consciously, it's temporary, right? And you move consciously towards increasing balance. It's like in the process of rising, we need to be taken apart so that it can fall back together again in a new order. Does that make sense?
That's beautifully put.
Right? So, you know, in a new order, it's an upgraded order, right? That makes sense, Vicky?
Yes.
So one of the things I want to say is do not be afraid of it. It takes courage. It takes perseverance. Right, San?
Yes.
You're doing wonderful things. I haven't looked at your page yet, but you only have to tell me those few words, and I know you're doing wonderful things, you know. And sometimes we, you know, especially when we're doing it consciously, we kind of need to go through challenging periods, right?
Yeah.
I definitely know what it's like. And sometimes it seems like it's forever, and yet our soul knows what's going on, right? And knows that we are fine, we are safe, right?
Yes.
Because we're in this human body and we come with a human mind, that part of us, you know, it may be difficult for these two parts of us, the mind and the body, okay? But we can support the human self as we go through these changes and challenges, and as we transmute stuff, and as we therefore rise and transform, and then we support others to do the same, each in our own way, or we could also collaborate and then work with each other, you know, in a similar, if not the same way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that is part of the beauty of it all. And I've been doing this like forever, seems like forever, you know, more than a quarter of a century is a long time, right? And even long before that, preparing for it, right? And now is the time. So it's actually very exciting, okay? It doesn't mean it's not challenging to our physical self, to our human self, right? But we are in no danger whatsoever, right? It may feel like it, you know, because it's centuries of where mass consciousness has been at, right?
Conditioning.
Exactly. So obviously it has to be part of us somehow, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the wonderful thing is that it's dissolving. It will become lesser and lesser. This month alone will be better than not better, but easier than last, right? Easier only in one way, okay? Because there will be more evidence of things flowing inside, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be hard. It'll be I wouldn't say harder, but it may be equally challenging in other ways. But the great thing is that we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
All of us can do it. Okay?
Yes.
That's why
I know.
we're wonderful. You know, you shifted since we last spoke, right?
Yes, I mean, especially today, I felt there's a shift,
Big
and yeah,
You know,
and
it's amazing the marked difference, Sam. You know, like between 2019 and 2020, and then between January and February, it's amazing.
Yes. And I have to say, yes, I have a lot of help coming in.
Wonderful.
I have volunteers coming to help me. I have people giving me free stuff left, right, and center to help me.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's abundance, and I'm ready to give back this kindness that people gave me.
I'm delighted to hear, and I'm also very, very pleased to meet you. You know, online.
Yes, very pleased to finally meet online. Yeah, to see you.
Let's do more of that, huh?
Yes, thank you, Helen.
Thank you too. So, well, this is pretty much what I just said. The world is out of balance because we are out of balance. And this is something that I've said for years now. The greater the balance, the greater the power, you know. And it's like my human mind says, you know, gosh, everything that I created and wrote before is all, you know, like so not only relevant, but it's like it's really pertinent. I guess it's the same thing, you know, now, you know, more so than ever. And the path ahead and our way forward, co-creating a world of peace and plenty for all, is pretty much what we covered today. We covered this as well, the existential threats and global dramas, even with, you know, the royal family. You know, all structures have to be dismantled. That's all I can say. You know, to what extent, in what shape or form, we will see. We're not controlling anything, and it's okay. We don't have to. Yeah, we can all have our opinions, but I see very clearly that it happened because it was not only meant to happen, but you know, it showed all the different reactions and different camps, so to speak, and how in the end actually no opinion is the right or wrong opinion. It's just different opinions, right? And generally speaking, what is true or a universal truth is that on New Earth, there will be tremendous equality. And there will be tremendous joy and freedom. And none of the things we're raving and ranting about will matter one iota. Where we say this, she should have done that, he should have done this, he should have blah, 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 whatever. That's just going to be all irrelevant. Yeah? How do you feel about that?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Helen?
Yes?
I have a saying that I developed from gardening, is being upset with people that are unconscious or don't know what is going on.
Yes.
Is like being upset with a bird that has dropped a seed you don't want in your garden and it grows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I like that one.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, precisely what I've been saying, dismantling the old, creating and building the new, heading towards unity consciousness. Okay, so that was the new earth I asked you to imagine and to experience yourself. And we're moving towards that, right? So in the end, none of these, you know, differing opinions matter, you know, and we allow. So a decade of change to make good across the world, across the board, and co-create abundance for all. It's not so much about fixing things, but about moving towards greater light, right? So as we come into greater balance and harmony within ourselves, we will create the same externally, right? So we're not coming from a place where we're being self-righteous and holier than thou and fixing everything and everybody. No, we're just sharing. We're sharing our light, our joy, our gifts, our, you know, and creating consciously what is greater light and greater joy and greater freedom and abundance for all. So we make good in our own lives and in our world together. And we're maximizing the power to create from soul, from spirit. Because currently the world operates on a hugely outmoded basis. And a new model of human intelligence must be utilized in our lives. I've put this as a formal bit because it came from a formal presentation I did, like, I don't know, 2011, many years ago, and it really went over everybody's heads. Well, not everybody, but 95%, you know. And I thought, okay, someday I can share it where it can be embraced. And I think the time is now, right? Unless we have a new model of human intelligence, we're going to go on, you know, living and operating in the same kind of world. And I would imagine that we've had enough of that, right? We cannot create more of the same. We're not meant to create more of the same. It really is being, you know, dismantled anyway. So how can we do that? We have to switch our own operating equipment and shift from operating from the human mind to using in the infinite and powerfully creative universal mind or God mind. And this is our journey home to New Earth, where we thrive in all areas, in all of our lives. And these are various programs that I can share with people, things I've created over the years and some more recently in order to serve more people. Journey Home is a membership program. And the idea is, as I've been saying, to create abundance for all. So it's for ourselves to begin with, and at the same time, we can, in our own way, contribute to creating abundance for others, right? And fulfill our own soul purpose, right? As for example, you do yours, Sam, right? Abundance Mastery is another online program that I have. I started with this and did this as a public workshop before. I also do it on a one-on-one basis. The part of the Invincible is my foundational one-on-one program. And with Journey Home, what I do is take the essence of it and offer this to people in a group in a way that is still, I'm still able to provide individual attention, and yet it is like I don't know how many times more affordable. Let me put it that way. Of course, on a one-on-one basis, it has to be a different kind of fee structure. And then creating conscious relationships. That's for all relationships. I mean, all romantic relationships, be it partnerships or marriage or whatever. And then, in some ways, most of all, the coach training. And I say most of all because whilst I've been training clients since 2004, I have just now accredited 2 coach trainings, and they are both here tonight. I don't know if they want to make themselves known, so I wouldn't call them out unless they want to share. This is very, very special at this time because I am building a global team who can assist me do what I do worldwide and help contribute towards the flowering of human consciousness, and then therefore help to create abundance for all. Okay, so I'm particularly focused on this from here on, and these are just various topics that I would include in the various programs, especially Journey Home, but definitely for all anyway. And these are the results that people can get from my various programs. I'm not going to go into all this. It doesn't feel right to do that right now. This is just all stuff about myself and the work I do. Here, what seeds are you planting today? Clear the field and plant consciously. Let's create bountiful harvest together. And there is no other way to save our world but to rise up in love, to love and honor ourselves and others so much more than we do now. And there you go. So now we have a few minutes left if you want to carry on, and I'd love to hear from you, whatever you'd like to share or.
Hi, Helen.
I'd just
think.
Sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
No, I was just going to say her programs, everything I saw was really, really high vibrational and really super supportive, and it's beautiful. Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you, Karen. You're wonderful. Anyone else?
I just wanted to thank you, Helen, and everybody else, because frankly, the last couple of weeks I was extremely depressed, but I think this group is so amazing because everybody contributes with their positive energy and it reaches everyone out there. And trust me, I think if not 100%, then at least 95% of my depression is dissolved within these 2 hours. I'm really grateful to everyone and to you. And I don't know what you do, but you do something.
I do magic. Yeah.
So peace and love to everybody.
And I have my team of divine helpers around. Angels, archangels, and ascended masters, and light beings of all kinds,
Is that one of them?
That's my cat.
I know.
You're talking about your cat? You know, your cat showed me his or her bum a few times. So there was a
They-
snoring, and then there was the bum.
It's time to eat, so they're all going crazy trying to
Okay.
have 6 of them running around.
Aw, I talk cat talk. I talk to him. I go meow, meow, and I talk away. It's hilarious.
Jesse, are you
They-
there? Okay. So no, maybe they all went to sleep. Bless them. Angela, anything?
Thank you, Helen, for this wonderful session, and I'm so glad that Xiao Qi can join us today. I hope she,
Okay.
I hope Xiao Qi you find this session very helpful for you, and moving forward also. I've been on this program since 2011, I think, and at that time when I approached Helen, it was during my that I was at a crossroad making decision about my career, and Helen has helped me shifted, move towards my desired job, and then I am really grateful how things worked out for me during this whole journey, not just my career, which also affected positively on my family, my children who are now in their teens. This year would be, excuse me, this year will be a big year for my younger boy, having his final big exam. And going through the program has also helped me to reduce my fear, like most parents do feel in a academic focused society here in Singapore. And like what Helen said, everything starts from within. We have to take good care of ourselves. And by doing so, then we are able to give more for our family and people around us. So thank you, Helen.
Thank you too. You're going to do more than self, family, people around you. Might be a lot, the net might be cast a lot wider than that, right?
Yeah, Helen. Yes.
No pressure, just saying.
Like you said, one step at a time.
Okay,
Yeah.
going back. Absolutely right.
Thank you.
Are you there, Christina?
I would like to thank you for everything you do for us and for the world. And it's enormous. And I'm very proud that I know you, and I know you from 2011, and you helped me to go through my difficulties and burnout, depression, find my love, create beautiful family, have kids, and now you are also supporting to take my professional path, and I'm honored to be part of your team, and I'm honored to continue doing what you do. Thank you very much.
Bless you, Christina. So now that Christina owns up, then I'd say the other one is Angela. Angela usually doesn't even speak so much. So thank you both.
Thank you.
You know, the whole idea is, as we do this work, you know, it can be deep and challenging sometimes, but it's also meant to be fun, right? It's also meant to be joyous, you know, just like the snoring earlier, you know, that silly joy, you know, where we laugh, right? Does that make any sense at all? where it can be lighthearted in the midst of what may seem challenging, because as we ascend and as we transcend, all forms of darkness, it is difficult for the human body and the human mind and the human self, right? Even as much of us being in our soul self or spirit self, or source self, we're still in this body. Am I right? We still have bills to pay. Am I right? Right, San?
Yep. Yes.
But we can do it all. And we can do it all with so much love, so much grace, so much togetherness, unity. Ultimately, it's the unity. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then to increasingly move as one, right? Yes, Sam, you wanted to say something?
Yes. This is the first time I'm here, and I just want to share as well that I'm building a community of people. At the moment, I'm building this learning center, and we have a community, and we are all coming together to help. And the energy, the feeling, it's just wonderful. I mean, the pure kindness of people being there, and we share, cultural sharing through food, for example. It's really wonderful, and
it's already New Earth, right?
Yes, right? and we are all in mud every day. We are building a natural building with the mud from the ground. We are all in mud. I mean, I used to work for a luxury company, one of the best. I used to work for Louis Vuitton, and and I have a 180-degree shift, and my value changed, and I felt that this is what I need to do. So I embarked on this journey to build this learning center, and I have to say, at times it's very hard. My family thinks that I'm crazy. They think that I'm wasting all the money in building this place. I have friends that are frown on me, of course, because we come from such a different world. And yeah, I mean, most of my family never even got to see my place. They're not interested. So it's tough. It's not easy. And but just now when you're explaining about your slides, that things need to be broken before they're rebuilt. And this is exactly how I have been feeling for the last I don't know, a year or 2 years, that I got this feeling that something big is going to happen that is going to destroy the current system, and a new one is going to come out of it. Yeah. And I can slowly see, like things started to crumble of the old system. And I don't know, the reason why I feel as if this learning center, this place that I'm building is a calling. I need to do it.
But it's more than that, San. You mentioned other things the other day as well. Can you share with us?
In terms of other things. Yes, I feel that I want to share. I want to help people to have the awareness, for example, how to have good health and good environment, because they are both linked very, very closely together.
I think you were talking about something to do with earth and what I forget.
Oh, I feel that it's time to help the earth. We need to take care of the earth so that the earth can take care of us.
Yeah, but what were you doing specifically? You were doing something in particular, and you asked
me. Well, I can't remember which part I was telling you.
I'm going to look at your Facebook.
Because I'm building a learning center to share some knowledge in sustainability, to help people understand what is sustainability, to not waste. To not waste, to recycle everything. For example, our food waste should go into the compost, and then the compost go to feed the vegetable, and the vegetable feed us. So everything should be a cycle like this. And we are applying this permaculture principle in our center. So
that's what I
yeah.
want you to share.
So nothing is wasted, and we recycle everything.
I didn't look at your page. I looked at all the messages that were there for me instead.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yes, and we are building something. Like I said, a lot of people think that it's a hippie movement, but it's a lot more than that. It's yeah, a lot of people just think, okay, this is not for me. It's not clean. But like all this, a lot of things that we are doing today, we are harming the earth, harming the soil. For example, the waste from the toilet is now a toxic waste. We have to spend a lot of money and effort to treat it, but it should all go back into the ground so that our food are nutritious. Because at the moment, our food are not nutritious because our soil are basically dying from the chemical, from lack of nutrient going back into the soil.
Wonderful. I would love to meet you in person, Sam.
Yes, I am going to Singapore end of February. I would call you and come to see you.
Talk about quick manifestation. But genuinely, I feel like this is like kindred spirit.
Yes.
Super.
Yes, I think one of your messages prompt me to send you a message, and I think it's meant to be.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you very much, Helen.
Thank you too, really. Vicky?
Yeah, I wanted to thank you for today, because I think it started, I already was feeling the energy of today, last night, of this morning's meditation last night, because I started to really think about things. And I've had a really hard January, as you know, physically. And like you said, we're coming out of that, and I felt it last night. And today I was able to finally see and realize and understand the new earth. And what you were saying is we don't need to drag people with us. We just need to lovingly exude the light. And I've been struggling with that at home, and I think that this finally made me understand what it is, the way you talked about it, and our meditation, and made me understand how I can actually get to the new earth and be in it most of the, when I can, or be in it as much as I can. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're most welcome. I'm just recruiting people for New Earth, so especially if I decide to share this video as well. Yeah, I hope you all don't mind. And does anyone object to me sharing it? No. Okay, super. Anyone else want to say anything else? I don't know if Jessie is awake or asleep. And how do I say Chiao Chi? Is it?
Hi, yes.
Okay.
Hi, Helen. I thank you very much for this session, and I'd like to thank Angela for inviting me on this, and everybody else for sharing their positive energy. This is
where are you from, darling? I'm just curious.
Sorry?
Where are you from?
Oh, I was originally from China, but I've been living in Singapore, for like 13 years.
Okay, but there's something else. Where did you study?
Oh, I studied here in Singapore.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So, I guess this is all new to me. Definitely. I mean, I guess most of you have been on this journey for a while, and so I guess I definitely want to learn a little bit more and take time to digest. But I enjoyed the session, and it's nice to hear and see everybody here. Thank you, guys.
You speak beautifully. Karen, are you asleep, darling?
No, I'm just focusing. Thank you.
Okay.
The one thing I want to say to everyone, and you've said it in so many words, but the energy, the waves come in and out, and as we get more and more balanced, as we come more and more to center, and as we choose for the highest good, for our highest good, for the highest good of all, those waves become our joy because we get to surf them, we get to feel into them, and we become one with the wave, one with the stream, instead of wading into it or against it, or feeling the rush or the pull or the power of it. We become one with it, and we don't feel like we could get swept away, or that we could get, dismantled by it in any way. And, we can acknowledge the energy that we feel, and then we can choose that balance, like she said, like Helen said, and the waves are coming in, and as we all need help, and we all need to support each other to learn to be in the greatest balance we possibly can, so that we can flow easily. Yeah.
But the one thing though about dismantling is not to be afraid of it.
Right.
To actually allow it, because this kind of dismantling is to make way for a reconfiguration, right?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
regeneration.
Yeah, and I wasn't meaning it like
Regeneration.
that, but just that,
Okay.
just that we're not afraid of it. We can flow with it. We can just allow it. We can see how it's for our highest good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, dismantle me,
Right. Right. Yeah, and it might not feel good in that moment, but by coming into balance, by being supported to be in balance, because we're all one, and being independent, we're going to find out it doesn't work. That independent. It's one thing to be one as yourself and one within yourself, but just, I don't need other people, I don't need this or that. No, we all need each other. We all need to support each other. We all need to reflect the light. And it's critical in these holy days, in these holy times. It's critical.
Absolutely. And also the collaboration, right, is one.
Yes.
And that is essential. Then you can still have that space of your own, that realm of your own, that dimension of your own. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Because we need that solitude, that silence, that, it's like, yeah.
If we don't feel our own peace, we can't exude peace. So, yeah.
The dimension of your own, right?
Yes.
Which is like the plant is, needs to, in order to grow and expand, and become this tree. Analogy sucks, but you get the drift.
Well, we all need our own water to grow our own roots, to create our own tree, to be the part of the forest that is part of the earth, that is part of everything. So that, I got it. You had it. You had it.
So it's beautiful timing. It's 10:58 on my digital clock here. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. This is the first time in a long time, right? In quite a few months, right, Angela, that I'm doing this. I myself put myself through additional rigorous cleansing, right? This is part of this immense process of purification that we are all on. But yours truly had to do more. And I'm glad I did. It wasn't easy. It's still not easy. I told Angela today I have, fever and cold feet, and then Mariam said she had fever and sore throat. I said, so do I. She gets to lie in bed. I can't, I have this nice jacket on, but I've got shorts underneath, okay? It's like those newscasters, Okay, before I say any more nonsense, I shall thank you hugely. It's been great. It's very uplifting for me always to do this, so exactly as you said, Karen, so that I'm not doing it in isolation. We need that space, that silence, that solitude. At the same time, we need this. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So let's
beautiful.
do more and share. Okay, next time you can bring your friends as well. Okay, lots of love. You can always find me on Facebook. I'm there almost, well, not quite 24/7, but a lot. Okay.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you very much, Helen. Thanks a lot.
Good night.
Blessings all.
Thank you.
Thank
Good night.
you also. I like
Good night.
Blessings.
I'm gonna do the same.
Okay. Thank
Bless
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.